My name is Sukku Bhaskaran. I'm the president of D Goenka University. D Goenka University is a mid-sized university with about 3,200 students. It was incorporated in 2013. It's a comprehensive university in that it has got diverse courses starting from diploma to PhD level and in different academic domains. The project I'm going to talk to you today is about how we adopted enhanced teaching learning systems. And this is a very comprehensive and complex activity, and therefore I don't intend to make it seem highly simplistic. It's highly complex. What we focused on was 4 key areas to improve teaching learning outcomes. We decided to adopt a contemporary curricula. We adopted best-in-class teaching learning practices, and we adopted pedagogy and rubrics that prioritized higher order learning outcomes. And we introduced assessment rubrics that focus on continuous learning. In order to do this, we had to do several supplementary activities, and those are shown just outside this pie chart. These included, for example, getting our PhD students to teach some courses so that there is much more peer-to-peer learning, engaging our faculty members to sit in classrooms where their colleagues are teaching so that there's much more peer observation and guidance, informal guidance on whether we are achieving our learning outcomes in the way the classes are conducted. We provided opportunities to the students through inviting our academic staff from our partner institutions to teach into programs so that they get a comprehensive and outside of India sort of exposure. We facilitated students going on study abroad programs to our partner institutions. So there's a whole lot of activities that took place. We introduced programs to train our faculty members who are supervising PhD students. So this entailed a lot of activities that were interrelated and rather complex. Now, how do we measure outcomes? Okay, we measure outcomes through examining whether the student learning experience and outcomes were achieved. Now, for doing this, we adopted a diverse methods of doing it, a mixed method of doing it through focusing on leading and lagging qualitative and qualitative measures. So, for example, we obtained feedback from faculty members who undertook peer observation. That was informal, yes, but they're talking to one another and explaining what their observations about the quality of teaching and whether the learning outcomes were achieved sufficiently effectively per what they have observed. We obtained student feedback through anonymous electronic surveys, through class representative dean meetings, and in regard to international teaching activities, we obtained the feedback immediately. We looked at student grades and progressions. We looked at how they did their formative assessments and whether based on that feedback, did they improve in subsequent assessments. We analyzed student grades and progression rates. We obtained feedback from mentors. We obtained feedback from the head of department of our placement cell to see what did employers say about the standards of our students. And we also obtained feedback from industry supervisors where there were projects to be done together with industry. Now, so COVID-19 hit all of us, I presume, in a very unexpected manner. And therefore, we had to quickly garner up strength and do certain things. So what we did was, we were already investigating various learning management systems. But when COVID came very suddenly and we had to shut the campus, what we did was we adopted Google Classroom because we knew that many faculty and students were quite familiar. And therefore we said, as a first go, we will adopt this, although we were already exploring a number of other learning management systems, but we wanted to continue with that before we introduced any new learning management systems. In addition to the familiarity that both students and staff had with the Google Classrooms, We also, Google Classrooms could be accessed through any mobile devices. It had many built-in capabilities, which was useful. But to address any unexpected challenges, such as there being power surge or the internet falling off, etc., what we did was we also audio recorded all lectures so that students could access those lectures later. Other than in teaching direct engagement with students, we used Zoom video telephony for other engagements, such as the lectures by our partner, by the academic staff from our partner institutions. We conducted staff meetings, webinars, placement and internship engagements, etc., all through video telephony. How do we determine the achievement of these things and these activities? And these activities are reviewed on an ongoing basis. And because the education environment in India is highly dynamic, it's changing with the new education policy, there is rationalization of education providers, demands for courses vary, research priorities vary, the capacity to get qualified and experienced faculty is sometimes a challenge, and therefore for all these reasons we got to bear in mind that it's a highly dynamic environment. So based on this understanding of the dynamism of the Indian higher education environment, our plan for the next 2 years is to intensify technology adoption and accelerate the use of blended learning and flipped classroom modalities of delivering teaching learning engagements. We want to increase joint teaching initiatives with international partners, and we want to enhance research collaborations, commercializations and publications with academics and partner institutions. Many of these things we say are the plans for over the next 2 years, but we've already activated many of these through experimenting in many areas. Thank you for this opportunity.